Batchmate 800 features and benefits. Every agricultural operation is looking to improve their efficiency wherever possible. Correct batching and mixing of the product to the label specifications is a good start in any spraying task. A lot of sprayers in the market may be good applicators of product, but their onboard mixing systems are not quite up to standard and not working well enough for today's demands, or especially Australia's demands, as we're using more sophisticated blends of chemicals to combat a large range of weeds to lessen the threat of weed resistance. A lot of these mixes have to be carefully mixed in the right process. When mixing with a sprayer and the motor going, more often than not, you're having a very high value capital item, in some cases up to a 300 plus horsepower engine, running for 30% of its time just mixing chemical, which in most people's eyes is a very uneconomical recipe. Why have your machine, which has cost you perhaps $500,000 or more, to be running 30% more than it needs to be? Come to the end of it, when you're going to trade it in, if your machine has done anywhere from 25 to 30% less hours, it's going to be a far better proposition to trade. The Batchmate is portable and easy to use and well proven. The input costs of the Batchmate are considerably less, as I've indicated, than operating your sprayer. So you're going to reduce your depreciation cost of the sprayer. You're going to lower your fuel costs. You're going to have a considerably faster fill time to improve your mix quality. Best and overall, you're going to increase your productivity significantly. Firstly, you've got the drum buster spear. Now the drum buster spear is a stainless steel knife with 4 edges and a conical piece in the middle. So you can get your drum, be steel, plastic, or a bag. You come over the spike, you drive it down onto the spike starts opening up the drum. This adds to the speed of the loading of the chemical into the Batchmate. The quicker you can get the chemical in, the quicker you can get it out, and away you're going. On the other end, you have a drum flushing nozzle in the stainless steel basket, so you can put your drum over the nozzle and clean it out to the requirements. That nozzle can also be used to clean out chemical jugs or buckets as well when you're finished with them. So that's the chemical knife, a great addition. Then we have the rinse station to operate the machine. So the rinse station is where you have all your taps and everything. You have 3 quick flip taps, and they come up with the clean water from the pump. Now the quick flip taps are, you've got the first tap, which is your cleaning rinse gun, so you can either wash down the Batchmate or your machine you're filling. Secondly, you have a drum rinse, so you can rinse the drum, as I was saying, on the end, and then you have your tank rinse when you're doing a change of chemical or you're putting it away for the night, you can rinse it out. And on the end of this manifold, you have a pressure gauge to keep an idea on how your pressure is performing throughout your operations. So it's nice and intuitive. It's got a good labeling system on it, and the good labeling system that leads to less mistakes and more efficiency. The rinse down gun and hand gun, when you're working with your chemical, it's always nice to have a nice safety backup to you. And on the side of the machine, you have a hand wash tank and a soap dispenser. You want to minimize your OH&S risks, so therefore a separate supply of fresh clean water is always good value. When you're going to have your meal breaks and that, you can wash your hands in the paddock. Let me just run through some of the specifications of the Batchmate and their advantages. So the dimensions are 1520 by 1670, so it'll fit on the back of certainly most of your utility vehicles, and it's only got a height of 1.2. Now we're saying that height is 1.2. It is considerably lower than a lot of other batching tanks available on the market. So for the people who are vertically challenged slightly, it's a hang of a lot easier to put chemical in, be with a bag, drum or whatever. 800 litres, and it's got a fully sloped tank with a drain sump. If you're cleaning it out, it's nice and easy, and that drain sump has a little tap in it as well as a main drain from the tank to the pump. The frame, again, in Goldacres, it is heavy duty RHS. There's fork slots for easy handling, and it's not very heavy at an unladen weight of 250 kgs. It has a Honda 3-inch pump on it, so the Honda engine, 3-year warranty, good service, good backup, and less to worry about with a 3-year warranty. The pump is an Aussie pump, assembled in Australia, centrifugal poly. So being centrifugal poly with a chemical resistant seal, you're not going to have the worry of the more aggressive chemicals getting into your seals and having a premature failure. Now that pump has a flow in the machine of about just over 600 litres per minute, and the open flow being 1,000 litres, but instead of claiming 1,000 litres, we actually work on the actual flow when it's working in the Batchmate of 600. Now that comes in by 2 1.5-inch nozzles into the tank, and it agitates it like I would say the old cake mixer at home, the twin rotor cake mixer. So it circulates in a figure 8 style. So it's quite aggressive, actually it's very aggressive, and mixes your chemicals right through to a solution stage. So if you're using some of your Glean and Alloy and Simazine and these hard to mix chemicals, it's very good for that, and it aids to the process of when you are having to mix 6 or 8 chemicals. The other thing in the plumbing, just about every fitting on this machine is a banjo flange fitting. Now the banjo flange fittings are, in my eyes, one of the best fittings in the market. They are just a no-ring flat seal. They are a flat seal, 2 flanges, and a flange clamp around it. So it minimises the use of hose clamps and such like. Very tidy, very good sealing, and very long lasting. Again, the cam locks are 3-inch, and they're also for banjo, so they're of good quality also for the delivery points, the intake and outlet. Induction, it also has its own induction, so it has a high capacity Venturi probe. Now that Venturi has a probe kit that goes on it, so you can take it out of drums, or you can make up your own probe if you're wanting to take it out of shuttles. Those are the features. The benefit of that is, I think, you're handling chemicals, you've got to be aware of OH&S, so the less you can physically handle a chemical and you can put it through a system, I think that's aiding to that, and the efficiency is second to none. All of the machine, being a chemical handling machine, is incredibly well labelled. The fill station's labelled well, the easy fill's labelled well, and any item that's around the machine is handled well. Now we talked about the washdown gun. That is 4 metres of 20mm hose, and that's fitted with a good quality European RB35 washdown gun. So that's a trigger gun, so as you pull it slightly, it starts in a fan, and the harder you pull it, the more direct the squirt becomes. That's the features and benefits of the Batchmate.